Hey YouTube land, welcome once again to another action figure review by Tycondrius, and today we're taking a look at the DC multiverse McFarlane multiverse Megafig Clayface. Now, he's not in the box because I have already taken him out of the box. That's usually what I do. I don't do a unboxing kind of thing because usually by the time I get around to doing a video, I've already unboxed them and been messing around with them, trying to see what kind of cool fun stuff they come with, or poses I can get him into. But he comes in this massive box, which, if I just bring in a tape measure, is nearly 6 inches in depth. And I know you can't see it from here, but it's about a foot or 12 inches in height. So it is quite a big chunky box. Actually, and just for the front to back, it's 9 inches from the window side, so it is a big box. It's fairly standard affair, and then you have a massive image of the action figure with some digitally rendered imagery on it, because his eyes do not light up, but it is quite a nice looking figure regardless of that. So we'll move this out of the way and we'll bring in the big chunky boy himself. So he is a fairly big figure. Now just get him to stand properly. He is very chunky and very big, and he looks like a walking poop. So he comes with only 2 accessories: the standard DC multiverse bases that come with, well, it's not a DC multiverse base, it's a standard McFarlane base, because it comes with the Warhammer stuff, the Vox Machina stuff, the Doom stuff, Princess Bride stuff, and Avatar and the Witcher figures all come with similar bases. So you don't get anything spectacular with that. You do get a collector card for you with that same artwork, and then on the back you have a bio for Basil Carlo, and it has right up for him being, former famous actor, and then got turned into Clayface, basically. So if you want to read that, open that there, hold it so you can read it, and off we go. So this figure is really cool. I've been really looking forward to getting this figure. Now, my only one downside of it is it feels very hollow. That's the one downside. This whole section up here, about here, actually the whole upper torso is 2 halves, so I have some issues where if I move the arm, this whole kind of section starts to split on my one. Arms are on the same kind of standard joints that you normally get, but unlike other figures, they didn't put in an extra piece on the inside. If I bring in Thomas Wayne Batman here, just to show what I mean. So if I move the arm about, you can see there's this extra plastic piece that just hides the hinge joint a little bit and gives it what looks like a butterfly joint. This guy does not have this, but he does have ratcheting joints, which is pretty cool. His head does sort of move. Mine feels kind of loose. He does have an articulating jaw with those big gnarly teeth, and the jaw does close, so you have that. I don't know if you can get the head to move side to side. It does kind of more rotate than move anything like that, but it does sound so kind of tinny and plasticky up top. Now, these diaper section and this lower waist is a rubber piece, so you have to be a bit wary over time that this might fade or discolor, so just be aware of that. It does have a ball joint in there. You can actually see it if you move it at certain locations, but you have to. He has a double ball joint for the waist, so there is that. You can even see, like, this top piece, the body is made of 3 pieces. So if I move his arm out of the way, so you have a front and back plate for the waist, and then this top piece holds down underneath. I'm not sure if you can see that, but you can see just how thin through the figure is. Like, if you're looking through the side, you can actually see the other side, out the other side of the figure. So that is a kind of minor gripe with mine. He does have elbow joints, not big elbow joints, but they are there. He doesn't get much in the way of elbow joint. He does have a hand rotation. Just be careful, this guy is spiky as well. He's very sharp and pointy and spiky. He does have these big gnarly hands, and they have these hinges on them, and they do rotate. He doesn't have anything in the ankles, which is decent because he is quite top heavy. He does have kind of standard McFarlane ball joints for the or hip joints, and he does have a single jointed knee with a slight rotation to it. But you don't get much in the way of posability. You do get posability, but in the ankles you get nothing. And as I said, it's a good thing because he's so top heavy. He would be going plonk the whole time if he actually had ankles. He's quite a big chunky figure. He has a kind of mostly gripping hands on both sides. You do have the hinges as well, so you can get some good kind of poses with him. But as I said, his detriment is that he is quite a top heavy figure, so you're kind of battling with gravity to get him to some good poses. So there is that, but you can get him in good poses overall. If I just get him into more of a neutral pose, try and get him to stand, it might be best to ratchet one of his joints back on his knee so you can get him to stand. He is quite a big figure, so if I get him standing behind here, you get in the old tape measure. Now, up to his head, he's about 7.5, but his head is actually shrunken into his body, so in total, he looks like he's about 9, maybe, yeah, 8.5, 9 inches just underneath. So he's quite a big boy. The only other McFarlane Mega figure that I have, kind of scale him up with, is the Orc from the 40k line. So he actually even towers a small bit over that, except like the Orc is big with the backpack on, but like from actual height he is taller than him. So there is that. And because it is a Batman figure, we can't have him without having a Batman to show him against. So here he is with, is it Grim Knight Batman, I think it was called, the one with all the guns. And here he's with Thomas Wayne Batman. So you can see the size comparisons between two of the McFarlane Batman figures. So you can see he does stand a good bit height wise over them. Head height, he's not that high over, but because his body goes up really chunky, you have all that extra kind of height to him. And then the other cool thing about him is he's chock full of detail. So if I move him around, you see all these little faces that are kind of molded into the sculpt. He does have kind of weird washes going on. I'm not sure if it's washes or it's just the way the marbling on the plastic is. He has this kind of orangey stuff kind of molded in with the plastic, but he has like this, like as you can see, there's like hands, faces, other kind of stuff just molded in here. There's another hand here, and then you can see on the rubber section it just equally has kind of faces and stuff in there, even on his legs. So it's not just up here on the upper torso, it's like pretty much all over him. He has like heads, faces, hands and stuff just molded into him. I think they're supposed to represent like characters that he's portrayed or people that he's imitated or mimicked over the years to kind of, you know, showcase that he's kind of takes on some of their personality. But like, as I said, I move this piece up, you can see the split happening up here. I might throw some glue on it to hold it back together, but it is a shame that it does have that on it. But overall, he's a cool figure with those minor gripes, well, those kind of issues aside. He does look pretty cool on the shelf. Now, I don't have the other Mega figures they did. I never picked up the Swamp Thing one, which I do regret. I probably will get one at some point. And the other ones I haven't gotten are the Man, or I'm waiting to get, is the Man Bat and the Killer Croc. The only Killer Croc figure I have from the Arkham games, because I think this guy's based on the Arkham Asylum version. There's this version, which is way smaller because it's done for a 3 3/4 inch Mattel line. So it is a fairly small figure, but it's almost the same height as Batman. So you can see, even if you have this one Clayface does tower over it. But overall, really cool figure. I do recommend picking him up. I got mine from Big Bad Toy Store. I'm sure you can pick them up maybe in local stores. I didn't see this guy available from one of our local retailers at the time, so I grabbed him from Big Bad Toy Store. But I think lots of like the normal comic book stores and toy stores should be getting him in. So great figure, do recommend getting him. And as I said, as always, please feel free to like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Cheers guys.